Hi Taylor, how are you?
I'm good. I guess I'm okay. Stressed.
Okay, stressed. Tell me why.
I don't know. It's like end of semester and I've got all this stuff going on and I've got a final and I've got a paper that's due that I can't imagine being able to finish. And I've been procrastinating and I'm not getting it done. And if I don't get it done, I know I'm going to fail. And if I fail, I don't even
Uh,
I don't even know why I'm doing all of this. It's crazy.
what do you mean why you're doing all of this?
I don't know why I'm going to school and getting myself all aggravated up about all of this. I just, it's, I, it's too much. Like, it's just too much. I'm too stressed and I can't get everything done.
Okay, I mean, you've made it this far, you're taking it one step at a time. We talked about it last time in session about just taking a deep breath and kind of taking a step back instead of just going through it all and trying to get everything done all at once. We said take a step back. Did you get to try any of that? Any of the mindful methods that we went through last time or the
Um,
last few sessions, rather?
I was trying the beginning of the week and then I got, I had to work extra hours at work and I had a test the next day and I didn't study until like that morning. And then I just kind of lost it and I couldn't even concentrate. So I didn't do well
Okay.
on that test. So if I
Did
don't
you
do
get the
well,
grade back for that test?
no, I didn't do well on it though. I
How
know
do
I
you know
didn't.
you didn't do well on it if you didn't get the grade back?
I just, I know I didn't do well. I don't feel secure in how I did. I just don't feel secure in it.
Okay. So I'm sorry that you're going through all that. It seems like you are very overwhelmed. It is very stressful, and managing school and work and just everything piling up, I could understand why you would feel like it's too much. Um, would you mind if we do an exercise today during our session
No.
between, so I have something drawn out for you here. So we're going to do the wise mind. It breaks it down between the rational mind, the emotional mind, and then the wise mind. So to tell you about it, just to kind of go through it, like it's kind of your emotional mind is talking now because you're saying you're a failure because you don't think you did well on an exam, but you didn't even get the grade back yet. So to kind of go through this, like for an example, as if I'm in line getting my cup of coffee, and someone gives me the wrong cup of coffee, not what I ordered. I'm at Starbucks and I waited 10 minutes for this drink and I just freak out and yell at the lady. That would be, what mind do you think that would be? The emotional,
Emotional mind, definitely your
okay.
emotional mind, right?
So in that example, if I were to, how would I be rational about it?
Like not yell and freak out on the lady.
Okay.
Like,
So do you think there's a way that maybe you're just using your emotional mind instead of your rational mind or your wise mind when you say that you're a failure?
yeah, yeah, because like it makes me stressed. So I don't even think, like I just get stressed.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it would be my emotional mind because I get stressed. It's just right away I'm like angry at myself.
Okay. And we've talked about this before too, about being kinder to yourself. So how do you think that, what would your rational mind say? You said that before you just want to just not be in school anymore while you're doing this. What mind is that?
I guess that's not rational.
Okay.
It might be wise mind. No, it wouldn't be wise mind. I'm being sarcastic.
So,
That's my emotional mind too, because I'm going right away to the most extreme thing. So Yeah.
So what would your rational mind be?
Um, well, you told me to kind of step back and take deep breaths and try to think through things without getting completely there. So I guess my rational mind would be, you need to know what your grades are first before you lose your stuff about it.
Yeah. And your wise mind takes a little bit of your emotional and your rational.
Oh, okay. How does that work?
So in my coffee example, instead of me freaking out and not getting what I want, or just saying, okay, yeah, I'm just going to take this and I still don't get what I want, I could say, hey, like, I'm really sorry. Like, this isn't what I ordered. I'm sorry you guys are busy, but can I just have the cup of coffee that I ordered? I don't mind waiting another 5 minutes. So, how do you think you could apply that to dropping out of school because you feel like a failure, and then your rational mind just waiting for the grade because you're still in this anxiety until you get your grade back, and you're still mad at yourself until you get your grade back. So what do you think would be a wise way to think?
Maybe to cut myself a break,
Okay. And how
and
would you do
not
that?
and not um, and be patient
Okay.
and um, think about how I actually did on the test rather than imagining that I immediately failed it.
Okay. Because in sessions you've said that you've been studying nonstop. So you
Right.
know the material, you might, get anxious about it, but you know what you're doing. You've said that before.
Yeah,
And
I guess. And maybe I think my wise mind might just not be as reactive
okay.
and um, but not be hyper rational either, like not go right to just sit and wait. Maybe worry about what my next paper is that's due and get that done and stop stressing about the test.
Yeah, because if you're still worrying about what you think you did wrong on, then it's just gonna stump you up for what's ahead of you and what you have to do.
Yeah.
And you take it one step at a time. But when you just jump to conclusions and then you're hard on yourself and you're calling yourself a failure, it's hard to think wisely, not even rationally, just think in that wise way.
Yeah, but it's a lot. So
Of
it
course.
gets it's hard sometimes just to like have, but I like the comparison of the two and then melding them together. I live, I mean, from this reaction, it's kind of obvious I live in my emotional mind.
Mhm.
So that's probably why I'm here. But um
And just to backtrack, before, I mean, this is something that you have mentioned that you've gone through before. You thought you did really bad. You wanted to drop out because you thought you were a failure, and then you got your grade back, and it was a great grade.
oh yeah, that was last year that actually
Mhm.
happened. Not, last semester that happened. I had like the same reaction. Like I really got all upset and I forgot about that. And then I wound up getting an A- on that test. And I never even thought that I would have done that well. So that class, wow, I thought a lot about why I was in school last semester too. So it kind of, I'm glad that you reminded me of that, because yeah, I guess I do kind of just react like that immediately. So, yeah, it's
So
hard. I don't know. But that, I mean, I've always been like that. I've always really been really hard on myself and reactive when I worry about being a failure, right? I don't know. I I
how far back does that go for you? Can you remember the first time that you were just really hard on yourself or felt like you were a failure?
was high school, like maybe even before high school, because I remember that I had I had gotten like a B in something. And when I brought it home, my mom was like really, really angry that it was a B. And she told me that, you can't have B's, that you'll never get into college, you'll never be able to do anything, you'll never be any, it just, so I was always like this A-type personality, had to be like all A's and everything all the time, because I didn't want to be a failure. So
And that was the first time you got anything less than an A was in high school?
I don't know, it's the first time I remember it. It was
Okay.
like, yeah, it's the first time I remember it. It was like my sophomore year in high school. I got a B. Like, I don't remember if I had got anything lower than that in grade school, but
And are your parents like that with your siblings as well? Or is it just you that you feel like they're
I
harder
was the
on?
oldest. So I think that's why I don't know. I think they were always harder on me than they were my sister. Um, because I was the oldest and she was the baby. So um, yeah, they were always really hard on me. And that I was always really hard on me.
So you think that behavior is kind of learned from your parents, just being hard on yourself?
I never thought of that. But I guess thinking about it now, like I've always been that way. And they were always that way with me. So yeah, maybe I did learn it from them, because if I heard them say it all the time, yeah. I never thought of that. I never thought about the fact that it was like something that was almost like a habit.
So thinking about it now, how could you change that moving forward?
I don't
Maybe
know.
using the exercise we did today.
Well, that makes me think of it differently, right? Because I'm thinking, if I use some other things that we've talked about, like the breathing, maybe I could
Mhm.
breathe a little and then try to think of what mind I'm thinking with, right? Rather than go right to that emotional mind and losing my stuff about school and the stress. Um, I'll try.
Okay.
That's
So,
interesting, though. It's kind of interesting to think that it's something I've been doing forever, and I don't know that I ever really realized how far back it went.
okay. I mean, I'm glad we kind of figured that out during session today.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So from now until you do actually get your grade back, what are you going to practice?
I'm gonna practice the wise mind and try not to be too much on either end. Um, I mean, I do have other things to do for other classes that I have to get done, and I get the grade back in 3 days. So
Okay.
I think we'll get it at my classes in 3 days. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll try not to be too stressed about it until then, and try to think about it in a different way. I'll try.
Okay. And I mean, going back to like the beginning of our session when you were stressed about all the stuff you have to do, I just want to make sure moving forward from this session that you're not going to go back to the stress because you have all these things piled up, like your paper, and that you have to work. So maybe we could do a plan for you to kind of take it one step at a time, focus on
Oh,
one thing at a time.
okay.
So is there any particular thing you would like to do first and get out of your way? Because you said procrastinating was kind of an issue for you in the beginning.
Yeah, when I get stressed, I stop. Like, I just don't, I like find every reason in the world not to do what it is I'm stressed about.
Okay.
So I guess I'd really like to get that paper out of the way because I know how good it'll make me feel when I get it out of the way. So I
Okay.
could go home and work on it today,
Okay.
and not procrastinate.
Okay. Maybe make a list for yourself, put
Okay.
that and put them in order of priority, you
Mhm.
know, like if you have 5 things to do, number them 1 to 5, which one's the most like number 1 priority, and then 2, and then go from there. And then you could just cross them off your list as you go. If something else can wait a little longer, then do that one and then do the one that's more crucial and more important to get out of the way.
All right, I will definitely try that tonight.
Okay. All right.
Works.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you.
Boris,
Um,
is there anything else you wanted to get off your chest before our session ends?
no, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I feel much better. Like, I don't feel as stressed.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yep.
So then go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say next week,
Same time?
I'll have my grade back by then.
Okay.
So that would be really helpful.
All right. So then we'll have a whole new thing to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Don't stress. Just take a deep breath. You'll get it and then you'll figure it out from there.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you.